Don't it feel good to be a winner? Man. Come here smiling for once.
Guys, just
Man, can't even put it to words, man. Feels so good. It's a long time coming.
You know, dudes like BT stayed down. Where did they turn? Big moments, big time players show up. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like we've been saying it for the past few weeks. We really feel like we can play with anyone. Just had to put a full 4 quarters into a game and finally got it done today. Feels great, and get the bye week next week. Everyone rest up and keep going.
And when that ball was in the air, obviously when Jordan fixed it the house, did it feel like it was in the air forever in your eyes?
I didn't even know it was in the air, bro. I heard the screaming.
I thought Nessa got his hand on it, but someone had to get that and take it to the crib. We needed it.
Nessa, I saw after the game you give Coach Aguano a hug and you guys had an exchange. What were you guys saying to each other at that moment?
Man, Coach Aguano, man, I've been in college 5 years now. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm a player who I play with my heart out there every week. And Coach Aguano, since he stepped in, been a coach who he just makes me know he appreciates it. And that's why that's a guy I can play for any Saturday. You know what I'm saying? I can play for him any day of the week because that's a dude who's gonna make his players know that he appreciates them. It's a mutual respect with him. And for that, I really love that dude. I appreciate it.
Brian, you're around Trenton every day, of course. But when he comes in for an injured starter in a game like this, can you just describe what he brought and the poison
Man.
to play with?
If I say this, I mean, what he did today isn't a surprise to any of us. You know, he prepares the right way. He does everything right. So for him to come in, we put full trust into him. You know, it was we excited. Okay, next guy up. Let's go make some plays.
For any of you guys, just how it's a huge win for the program, obviously, but what did it mean to be able to do this for Coach Aguano to his first win as a college head coach?
Man, he been pushing us. It's been a long 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? We took a bad loss 2 weeks ago. Could have won a game last week. Could have, should have, would have. And now it feels great to finally get that dub after a long month. You know what I'm saying? A long month to lose it. That's it's not easy for any of us. You know, people come in and ask these questions and they think it's just easy for us to answer. Like we come out and prepare every day, prepare to win. You know what I'm saying? We don't come out here to lose. So just to get that win and finally see the fruits of the labor pay off for a moment and just enjoy it for the day. But we know we got to come back to work because it's definitely not guaranteed.
Brian, you personally been breaking out a little bit the last few games here. Do you feel like personally you have gotten some more rhythm in practice and that's translating to the field, and the wide receiver room as a whole seems to be really putting it together?
Man, you know, big thing is just staying patient. You know, just staying patient for your time. You know, it's gonna come. The biggest thing is just, like I said, staying patient and just staying down until that time comes. You know, just believe in God, believe in the steps that come with it. You're gonna be all right. It's not, you know, Coach Thomas always say, you know, don't change the kind of person you are, you know, in big moments. And you can't do that. You know, stay the same person you are. I work hard, everything. So, you know, it's just been manifested. You know, it's no surprise.
For any of you guys, last week against USC, you struggled defensively, but this week you stepped up on defense when it mattered the most. What changed in practice this week where you allowed that to happen?
You know, I still feel like we haven't played the full game that we wanted to, but when you come out with a dub, you got to be happy. Like I said, man, we really feel like we can play with anyone. We just got to put together all 4 quarters and execute. We're just going to keep going at it every day in practice and try to get better.
This one's for anybody. Was this a different week of practice? Like, did you guys notice yourselves getting a lot better this week than in previous weeks?
Nah, like Coach Aguano says, it's kind of a 1% better every day thing. Like I said, we don't practice to lose. We're not out there every day in that heat to come out with a loss on Saturday. So it's just a process that we're going through as a team, as a unit, both sides of all 3 phases of the football, just getting with it.
Kyle, you've been around obviously for a while. You've experienced a lot of great moments. Where does this rank, just given, I mean, the celebration was lasted. Where does this rank for the wins that you've had?
With everything that's happened, you know, these past few weeks, especially having some new guys in the building and everything that's gone on, this is definitely up there. A lot of hard work got put into this win. And, you know, we want to keep stacking them. And like Coach Aguano says, just stack every day 1% better and just got to keep playing.
Guys, for each of you, is there one word that sort of sums up how you feel right now, Brian?
Man, I can't even put it into words, man. Like I said, it's just a long time coming, man. It just feel good.
Nestor?
I could put it into word. I'm lit right now. Lit when I get about it, just enjoy this stuff.
How are you lit or what do you think?
Yeah, I'll say I'm lit. Maybe I'll be, I won't say that. No, let's keep it.
It's only 5 o'clock. What are y'all doing tonight?
So we're gonna
Man.
be in the crib watching the film, trying to get better,
That-
call our coaches, get better with the film.
You were prepared for that answer.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Oh, shit.
Yeah, can you guys just both give your thoughts about how you're feeling right now?
I mean, I feel pretty good. I think coming in here against a ranked opponent and getting that win, was a good feeling. Obviously, this isn't the end. I mean, we got a lot of games left and a lot of season to go. So yeah, feeling pretty good right now though.
Just adding off what Cap said, just adding on as we go, step by step, being a team more, you know what I'm saying, all that good stuff. Just listening to what Coach Aguano got to say and just taking it day by day.
Ben, what, when Emery got hurt, Trent goes in, what did he bring? He seemed really poised just watching. What did you see from him?
Yeah, I thought Trent did a really good job on like taking what the defense was giving him, like he wasn't going for the big plays, he wasn't going in trying to prove himself, like as some would say, he was taking little check downs, taking the little 5 and in routes, just building his way. And he was like, he had the offense marching. It looked really good.
Isaiah, it seemed like the defense was in a bend, don't break mentality for the entire game, obviously facing a pretty strong arm quarterback that can complete big plays over the top. How well do you think the defense did in, kind of limiting those big plays?
The key word for the day was trust. Trust the guy beside you, in front of you, like behind you. Keyword trust. From speaking for myself, I have a nobody's better than me mentality. So I just try to spread that all across the field. Like nobody's better than us. We might give them a play, but nobody better than us. So I feel like that mentality today was just like the best approach that we could have for this game and great outcome.
Offense, a lot of shifts, motion, stuff to kind of get you guys scrambled, messed up. How well do you think the secondary and the defense as a whole communicated to kind of counter that?
Like I said, just staying as one, making big plays, big stops. I feel like we did way better on third downs this week. Making adjustments and it really just goes all back to being one, getting the job done for the offense, let them guys go back out and get the job done.
And Isaiah, on obviously Jordan's pick 6, what did you see there? And did you feel that the ball was in the air for about 25, 30 seconds?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I had a smooth feeling that we was getting it. And when I seen JC sprint as hard as he could to go get it, I said, oh yeah, he's going to the crib. He's going to the crib. It's a great feeling for my guy, man. I'm happy for him.
Ben, after the performance the offensive line had against USC in particular, no sacks first half, 5 in the second half, what allowed that unit to really take some strides together? Performance from it.
Yeah, I think it came down to like this week of practice. We were really putting in the work. We didn't come off the best against USC, and we really, we're taking that to heart, and we got to show that we're not a terrible O-line. Like we're actually decent, and we're gonna come out here and show it. Like, I thought we came out here, we did pretty good today. We could always improve the run game, but I feel like our pass protection today was actually really decent, pretty good.
Then what about not having 2 starters because Darius also went down in addition to Dez, and kind of how you guys handled that?
It's always next man up, so having
Ahmed and Isaiah really helped us out when Dez went down. So we already had 2 tackles that just filling equally. So and then when LD went down, Ben Bray was right there ready to go, and he held his own out there. I thought he did really good at left guard. He puts in the grind every day. He knows what he's doing. So I wasn't like babying him out there. Like he knows like what he's doing and everything. So it's just like another guy out there.
Ben, did Trenton have any words of motivation for the offense when he came in? Was there a speech from him, or did he just kind of take over and was business as usual?
I think he kind of just took over. In practice, he gets reps with the ones every once in a while. So this is nothing new to him. He knows the offense better than damn near anyone. So he's cool as a cucumber, as they would say. He's out there. I think he reads more than some of the coaches in the box up there. So yeah, he was smooth.
Obviously, you guys played much better last week, and people say moral victories. To heck with moral victories. So how good does it feel to kind of see your hard work come to fruition?
It's a beautiful feeling, just speaking for myself, and I know the guys feel the same way, especially for the older guys, just with the whole new coaching thing, Coach Aguano coming in, setting a whole new approach, we taking a whole new approach with game days, off days, everything, just to see it all pay off. It shows that it's making a difference. And I feel like, speaking for myself, it's going to make me want to take my talents to a whole nother level just to really see it pay off. Like, it's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah, I think it's a great feeling, but in my mind, it's more like the start of something. I feel like we were having a drought out here. Everyone's heads were down in the locker room, like just trying to get that first win to bounce us back. And now I feel like we just got to take off from here. Like it's a start for sure.
You guys had the lead at halftime. What was the message in the locker room to finish out that game? You guys are obviously winning against a ranked team. What was the message at that time?
I think going into halftime, we were up by 7. So we just took it as a 0-0 mentality. Offense was up, we got to go out and score, which I don't think we did. But, the game was far from over, and we just had to go out and keep doing what we were doing. I feel like sometimes teams have trends of going into halftime up and then kind of letting it slip by in the second half because they're up and think they already won. So we were trying to make sure that we weren't going to do that, and we were going in as a 0-0 mentality.
Thanks, guys. Thank y'all.
Your mentality, your thoughts?
Yeah, as a backup quarterback, that's the last thing you want to see is, the starter go down, and especially with the head injury like that. So, prayers go out to Emery. I think he's doing fine. I saw him in the locker room, and, I'm glad to see he's okay. And LD, got banged up, but he'll be good. But, I've prepared the last 4 years as I'm the starter, so you're always a play away, and I've always been told that. So, Southern Utah, I got in a couple of years ago and got a half in, but, today was a lot different, and just prepare like the starter this whole week. And, at the end of the day, we came out victorious against a really good Washington team, and it was very fun.
After the interception that you had, what was your mindset moving forward, and how did you recover from that?
The DB made a great play. I kind of tried to force that one, but that play was over, and just try to learn from it. And I think at that time they ended up tying it up after that, and just made sure the defense knew I had their back. And I think we drove down and scored. But he made a good play, and I can't force the ball like that.
Trent, to piggyback off that, like you said, you want to come in, obviously you want to run the offense, but how tough is it not to maybe take those early big shots just to try and push the ball down the field when you come in the game like that?
Yeah, the first play, that was a great first play, just to hand it off and we score on a handoff. It's really got my confidence going, just kind of, felt the game. But, yeah, like you said, it's kind of tough to get in rhythm, just coming in the game late. But I think the wide receivers did a good job catching contested balls, and the line gave me some pretty decent time. And with the running backs, it made it easy because, they're finding holes, and it made it a lot easier. And Coach Thomas called a great game.
Trent, obviously, and you were not the starter of the game, but once you came in, was there anything that you saw on the sidelines that you tried to put it on the field? Like you saw a weakness while you were still on the sidelines, but then when you got in, you took advantage?
I think Washington, pretty much ran everything that we were prepared for. It was just a matter of executing it and, not trying to force it and not play with dirty eyes. And I just think, we had a great week of practice and we had a really good game plan and we ended up executing it.
Trenton, I have two questions. I think it was your first touchdown pass, the one to Valaday.
Yes,
You took
yes,
a
sir.
pretty good hit there.
Yes, sir.
You just kind of describe what you saw and take us through that play.
Yeah, so I that was my hot read. Number 7 came off the edge, and I think he's from Arizona, Dominique Hampton, Centennial. I grew up playing with him, so it's kind of funny, 2 Arizona guys. But yeah, no, he was my hot read, and X came wide open. I had to stand in the pocket and make the throw, and luckily he caught it and scored. And but really, just doing what Coach Thomas has taught me and what we've been taught and executing it on the field.
How many times throughout your career have you kind of visualized a moment such as this? Because when you took the field, it looked like you've done it every Saturday. But it looked like you've actually thought about this and visualized this before.
Yes, sir. Like I said, as a backup quarterback, you got to be prepared. It's kind of different, because growing up, I've always been that guy, starting, since a freshman in high school and, breaking records. And just Chili, I know he's in the room and he's watched my whole career pretty much. And so, for me, it's, I've always known what I'm capable of and, God has a great plan. And, 4 years ago, I was the 5th string back walk on and, just trusted God's plan and, just put my head down every week and just prepare for this moment.
Trent over here. I know you had the foot injury. Can you kind of walk us through the timeline of when you got hurt and then when you kind of felt back to yourself and everything?
Yeah, so last year is actually the last day of fall camp. I kind of noticed my foot was kind of hurting. Ended up getting a X-ray, MRI. It was kind of like a stress fracture, but I didn't want to sit out the first half of the season because they said I'd probably have to get surgery. So good thing I didn't because I ended up playing against Southern Utah and I played through the whole season last year with it. And then I got surgery right after spring ball. So this spring I was in a boot the whole time outside of football, which nobody really knew about. So just trying to play through that was kind of tough, battling for the starting job, but also, really being limited, being on one foot. Got surgery, but my foot feels 100%. And I'm just glad that, I'm 100% and I just got to thank God for that.
How did you feel like in August, like in camp?
I felt pretty good, still kind of different. I hadn't really done anything since spring ball. I was pretty much out for a couple months, just trying to get back into cardio and just throwing. But, for me, throwing a football is throwing a football. So I was glad to be able to come back in time for fall camp and compete to my best ability. Still probably wasn't 100%, but I feel really good right now.
Trent, kind of going off that, how you said you weren't 100% in the fall camp. Coming into a game like this and you're just thrown into the fire, how were you able to build that confidence to fight? I just said not really being that 100% during fall camp.
I just think trusting in my training, taking what the defense gives me. Like I said, it was kind of nice to be able to rely on the run game. We had some pretty good runs and protection held up pretty well. Washington's a great defense, and I think we had a great plan coming in against them. And I just stayed focused the whole time this week, and watching film and breaking down stuff. And so I was just trusting Coach Thomas's game plan and executing it.
Trent, did Coach Aguano or Coach Thomas give you a message at all before you hit the field?
Coach Aguano said he just believes me and take what they give me. And Coach Thomas pretty much the same thing. This is what I'm supposed to do as a backup quarterback is be prepared. And, I just, like I said, thank my teammates, thank my coaches. And, I'm glad we came out with the W.
Nicholas Odell with the Inferno Intel. When was the first moment you realized that there was a field storm happening? And what was sort of the emotions of that when you realized that there was a field storm happening?
First thing I saw that he was a lefty, so he rolled left, and I was like, please just knock it down, don't get a PI. I saw we knocked it down, and the first person that came up to me was my brother. It's pretty special to play, your whole life with them, and especially at this stage, he was the first one that came up to me, and we bowed our heads and prayed, and gave thanks to God. But it was just a super fun moment, and I hope we have a lot more in the future.
Elijah, two-part. How are you feeling right now, and what was it like, kind of being Trenton have the game that he did?
I feel great right now. It's a great team win, and we just brought it home, brought it to the ASU community. We needed it.
About just what was it like seeing Trenton have the game again?
Well, Trent, he came in comfortable. I was comfortable with him coming in. We stayed calm. We stayed with the course, and we just got it done.
Obviously, you're taking a lot of easy hits under routes, but you did hit on some big plays. What was sort of the confidence behind those throws, like being able to rip those off?
Our wide receiver room is really special. I got this guy. We have BT, Andre, Gio. There's a number of guys that can make plays, and it's just a matter of giving them a shot and giving them opportunity and trusting in them. I have full trust in them, and in our running backs too. In our tight ends, we have a lot of weapons offensively, and just taking what the defense gives me and just giving the ball, distributing it to them, and you can see what they can do with the ball in their hands.
For both of you, I don't know if Mesto was telling us the truth, but he said tonight he's going to be at the crib studying film. Can you guys build on that? What's the plan tonight?
You're lying. Yeah. I mean, Ness had a great game, and I think, we're all gonna have some fun. I was actually planning to go to the fair, but I think I'm gonna, wait till next week on the bye and stuff. But it was very fun, and we're gonna take this bye week, not take it for granted, but be ready for the next opponent.
Guys, get them in the hallway if anybody wants. We'll get coach.
Yeah, that's funny. Come on.
Somebody else want these guys in the hallway? Go ahead. Just think about the game.
I'd like to just say thank you to all of our coaches who've been through a hard 3 weeks and their time that they've put into loving our kids. I'd like to thank the administration, our support, our weight trainings, everybody that is part of our program, or what I call it, our Ohana, our family, how much they've put in and believed in what I was trying to say. I'd like to thank you guys because you guys give me a chance. I know you guys doing your job, but you guys have been gracious to me. It's hard, I look back and I say, is this one of the greatest days of my coaching career? Absolutely. I feel like I'm the richest man in the world right now, not by monetary, I trust me. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck, but just because of the wealth of love these kids have given me and the trust that they've given me. As an educator, you try to correct and hopefully they get it. And you try to speak to them and teach them and hopefully they get it. And you ask them to love and trust and hopefully they get it. Today kind of shows there is no secret to success in coaching. It is loving these kids and making sure you inspire them. And I can't wait to go and hug my wife and my kids and just celebrate. But thank you guys. It does, because like I said before, the what's next mentality, we don't get a good down on first down or a good play on first down. And what's next? Somebody goes down and you never want to see that, but what's next? Who's next? We put in a program in which our seconds are getting more in practice from a development standpoint. And it actually helped out because Trenton, who prepares as if he was a starter every single day, and you showed that he came and delivered. And so I'm just so baffled at what these kids have been through in the last 3 weeks and how they've performed.
Sean over here. How long have you known or been aware of Trenton, and kind of what was it like for you seeing kind of what unfolded today with him?
It's I've seen it in practice for the last couple of years. And I've always mentioned to him that he has to be prepared. He's not the tallest, he's not the fastest, he doesn't have the strongest arm, but he has the traits of a great quarterback because he knows how to anticipate, he knows how to rally around his guys, and his guys rally around him. So I've seen that leadership in him. And I always said, once you have an opportunity, and it's playing right off of me, once you have that opportunity, and when you get that opportunity, make sure you take advantage of it. And he has today. And so now it's going to be a battle, because the biggest thing too is I want to make sure that I let everyone know he's an Arizona kid that it's come in and won one of our biggest games. And we can win with Arizona kids. And I'm going to go back to the recruiting part. I want to keep Arizona kids here. And he just amplified that for us. Well, I say battle because it's competition in everything. And I think in the quarterback room, it'll be competition. And competition makes everybody better. And so when I say battle, I'm not saying that he's going to be the starter, but it's going to be a good battle from a competition standpoint that'll make each other better.
Coach, on Emery, how's he doing? What's his status?
I don't know his status. We'll go back and I'll meet with the medical staff some of it is precautionary. I want to make sure my kids are healthy first before anything. Football is just a game. I want to make sure our kids are healthy, and if they're not 100%, then I'm not going to let them play. And so I want to go back and make sure. When I walked out, he gave me a big hug, and so I saw it in his eyes that he's okay. I want to make sure from a medical staff that he's okay.
Your team showed some improvement last week, but a lot of the kids this week were talking moral victories and they're tired of moral victories. So how important was it to get one in the win column from a confidence standpoint, just to see the hard work pay off?
You know, it's tough. You ask so much of them and work harder every day and enhance the day by day and taking it step by step and stacking days and all of that. And at some point they're like, Coach, it's been 12 days and I had nothing. The affirmation of the win makes everything sweet. The affirmation of all their hard work and them putting what they put on the field just says a lot about their character, their fight to win, and then our coaches fight to win. And so that affirmation, if we did not win today, it'd have been tough to get them back again. But that win now I got them. And so we'll enhance that. Yes. You know, I saw that ball up and I played it through my mind so many times. And I would just say, please just hit it down. Please just hit it down. And when I saw the ball hit the ground, I turned around and I just wanted to look and see the fans' reaction. I mean, I remember the same fans that in a couple games before was booing and weren't happy, and they should. We weren't doing well. But I just wanted to take a quick look, 10 seconds, and see their happiness. And we've made a lot of people smile in Arizona and around here. And that's huge for me because I consider myself now an Arizonan and my kids go. And so we are going to make a lot of people happy. We made a lot of people happy tonight and tomorrow. And so that makes me feel good.
Coach, in a 7-point game, you can look at a lot of plays, drives as the difference. One of them that we're going to talk about is Jordan's pick six. How does it feel to catch a break like that at that point in the game?
You know, we talked about in our pregame, we talked about we need to hopefully score in all assets and all facets of the game, you know, from special teams, defense, and offense. The offense was clicking. You know, I thought they were, they're strategic in what they were doing. They didn't ask Trendon to do too much. And then when you get a defensive play like that and it puts you above the top, because I know that it's going to be hard to stop University of Washington because they're very talented. And if we could have kept that buffer and keep that buffer and keep fighting, I thought we had a chance at the end, and that's what happened.
Coach, you've talked so much the past couple of weeks about being relentless and the players being relentless, whether it's Trenton or Daniel or overcoming the injuries in the trenches. How did your team exemplify that relentless? You know,
I told them a couple of days, and I tell them in every meeting that I'm going to be relentless on you being on time. I'm going to be relentless on us running on the field. I'm going to be relentless in the game, asking for you to do as much as you can. I told them I'm going to be with them the whole game, and I'm going to be relentless on the sideline when you're not doing something right. They know that I'm coming for them. They know that I'll never give up on them. They know our coaches will never give up on. So that relentlessness is now what you see on our kids because they relentlessly want to win. And so we want to stack this win now with Stanford in 2 weeks. But we've stacked the days, we've stacked games now, and now we want to stack the rest of the 6 games and to make this season a very successful one.
Coach, I'm sure with a win like this, it's a huge morale booster. It gives you lots of momentum. What do you want to try to do during this bye week to make sure this momentum carries all the way through until your next game?
You know, I want to make sure that we're strategic with this bye. I want to make sure, like I told them tonight, celebrate, be careful. Like they got to celebrate wins. Tomorrow we'll get back to work. We have our Ohana dinner tomorrow with all of our coaches' families and the kids, and that's because of the celebration that we want to give. And then Monday I'll give them off, but we'll be strategic in getting kids back from injuries, all those nicks, and making sure that they have a sigh of relief because they need some rest too. These 3 weeks have been very, very hectic on them. I gave them 24 hours to grieve and asked so much of them. And so now I'm going to give them a little time off. I'm going to go see my daughter play volleyball, and I haven't seen her play collegiately because our seasons get together. But I can't tell you how happy I am inside. I know I'm not jumping all around, but I can't tell you how happy for our kids and this program.
Coach, you had these kids believing in you the moment you took over. They had a tough loss against Utah. They came into here and said that they feel different with you. You go into USC last week, you played that game tough, take the moral victory, come back home this week, pull off a huge win. How does that feel for you knowing these kids bought into you so quickly?
Again, I asked them to trust me, and I'll take them through a process they've probably never been before. And that is from being relentless on everything I do and making sure when we leave that practice field and that game that our hands around them and telling them that we love them and we know and we appreciate that they're practicing so hard. I wanted to make sure that they understood that I got their back the whole time. In reciprocal of that, they've trusted me. And that's tough to do in 3 weeks, because I can be talking and selling anything that I want to them, but they trusted me and in my word. Like I told Chris before, I'm a man of my word. And when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. I told them that we're going to win and we're going to win. And so when we stack days, I look to win again. I thought against USC, I told them blank. That was our game that we did not take care of. And that's not going to happen again. I said at halftime, we have to learn from the game before. And we learned from the game before how to finish. And now it's, to me, it's a catch-22 because I'm going to ask so much more from them and I'm going to push them and I'm going to push them until they can't go anymore. But they deserve it. They deserve it. They deserve all the accolades. And it's just a big win for the whole program.
Coach, after Emery went down with injury, what was your trust level of Trenton coming into the game, especially since you hadn't worked with him too much early on in the season?
Absolute trust. And that's at every position. Ladarius couldn't finish the game as well. And another kid, Ben Bray, came in, a Red Mountain kid, an Arizona kid again, came in. It's the what's next mentality. And the kids know that I will never skip a beat in putting the next person because I trust all the guys in our team. If they're the second guy, they got to be ready to play because they're only one play away. And so from that part, they know I trust them. And I know that they're going to give me everything they got. And Trenton played a heck of a game. Good. Got a couple more here for you. Somebody stole it from me, I think. I don't know. I just got it. I don't know. Yeah, somebody with a short haircut took it for me. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Oh, boy. Oh, this chair wet. Who sat in this seat? It's wet. Kyle. Chair wet. Lord.
I was like, oh my God. I just couldn't believe it, bro. Really, I was just trying to make sure I secured the catch. And once I caught it in stride, I knew nobody was going to catch me. Got on.
Did it feel like it was in the air forever?
Yes, it was like slow motion for sure. It definitely felt like slow motion.
How do you think that pick six changed the game?
I don't know how much it changed the game. I know offense was clicking anyways. I know we just needed a little bit of momentum on defense. And I think that kind of just gave us some swagger and some of our energy that we lost back. So, yeah.
X, in the first 3 games of the season, you had 100 rushing yards in each of those games. What did you see from the Washington defense today that allowed you to get back to that mark?
I saw yards. I saw a whole lot of yards, and I wanted to get them. And I trusted my O-line, trusted the game plan, trusted what the coaches, what they had us go out there and practice all week. And, I honestly, when I feel things, I kind of keep it to myself because I'm not like a believe in a luck type of person because I feel like if I say things too much, like it kind of lose value to it. But you know, when I feel it in my heart, I just keep it in. Everybody else on the team, once I bring energy, you know, everybody feel the passion and emotion. So, yeah.
I wanted to go back to Jordan. Obviously, that was a huge stop. And then there was another stop. I think on the fourth down stop was, I think, Corey. Can you kind of talk about like the defense coming up with some key plays in those situations?
It's just a bet on us mentality, man. You know, whenever we work how we do and the coaches put us in the right positions, it's just about playing football. And guys like KB, guys like Fats, guys like, you know, Kyle, they're just equipped to make the plays. The coaches put us in the right position. All we're doing is execute.
The next one, Trenton came in, obviously you don't want to see Emery go down, but get the running touchdown. But how was his demeanor? I mean, was he just calm in the huddle? Did you guys
Look,
you know?
Trent been here, and it's a lot of guys on the offensive side of the ball that trust him. And you know, I even knew that when I got here. It doesn't matter, you know, what type of coaches come in, because at the end of the day, it's the guys between the lines that's going on the field. And you know, Trent is a baller, and I feel like we have ballers, you know, throughout our whole depth chart. It's just, you know, when your number is called, you know, and when you go out there, you know, like I said, like we said from the beginning of the season, you know, this team is so close, and you know, we're so passionate for this game. We're passionate for each other. You know, there won't be no question, you know, to who's out there on the field that, you know, we're gonna trust in them, and you know, they're gonna give us their all. And Trent definitely did that tonight. And you know, my hats off to him.
How big was this just to win for Coach Aguano?
It was big. It was not even for Coach Aguano, but it was big for all of us. You know, just the adversity that we all went through these last couple of weeks. You know, we definitely really wanted it, and you know, I even seen it on the defensive side of the ball, and especially on the offensive side. You know, I just seen our guys that, you know, they were really really hungry, and you know, once you get smacked in the mouth so many times, you know, you're going to get up and throw the first and the last punch, start it off and finish it. So I definitely think, you know, our team did this, and you know, I'm just, you know, very excited that, you know, we just pulled out with a victory today.
And are y'all just big Pac-12 guys? The hats?
I mean, look, we just play Pac-12 football.
Man.
Nicholas Hodel up in for no intel, guys. When the field storm was happening, when did you guys first realize that there was a field storm happening, and sort of how did that feel for you guys?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
With the storming of the field, when did you guys first realize that people were storming the field, and sort of how did that feel in the moment?
Honestly, I saw that, but I thought it was like people from the media, and then I didn't know who was coming up, and then people were yelling like different players' names. I'm like, oh my God. A lot of people was coming, but you know, it felt like we played the Super Bowl, but we just won a game. But it was definitely a good feeling, you know, have the fans engaged and everything. And, you know, I really just thank God that, you know, that the outcome today was what it is. And, you know, I just, you know, can't thank my teammates enough. And, you know, I know JC can say the same. You know, it was just a big win for us today. So, you know, a lot of emotions all over the place.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate
Have a good
y'all.
weekend.
Go get in the cold.
I can't sit in that.